Hi, everybody. So today I'm going to be presenting my 4Ts presentation, and the unit that I'm integrating is families all around the world. And that's a picture book that I found that I think is very essential to what my central question is and is going to help this lesson go smoothly. So, firstly, integrating social studies in ELA. The grade that this lesson is targeting is first grade. The book, like I just said, is Families Around the World by Margaret Ruse. The essential question is, why do families share traditions? So the lesson synopsis is, does your family have a tradition? I can start off by asking the class, do they do the same thing yearly? And that could be kind of like a simpler question, and it can kind of serve as like differentiation if like someone doesn't understand what that means. And then students will investigate special items and days, considering how traditions connect people to places, events, and past generations. They will analyze sources to determine the importance of traditions and the role they play in their own lives and families. So this question I think is meaningful too, because it's important to understand traditions and diversity in different cultures and how other people experience different things. And it's just important for students this young to be educated on that topic. So the lesson standards, I did 3 different ones. One social studies, one ELA, and then one ELA speaking and listening, but they can all kind of go hand in hand with each other. Social studies is students will compare family traditions and customs in different cultures. ELA is students will identify the main topic and key details in the informational text. Speaking and listening is students will describe familiar people, places, things, and events with relevant details, speaking clearly. And then all the standards will be achieved by using the picture book Families Around the World to help them answer these questions. So the first task is tier 1. The performance task that they will have to do, their assignment will be My Family Tradition mini book. Students will independently create a 4 to 6 page illustrated mini book similar to the book I'm presenting to them, and compare tradition from their own family with a tradition with families around the world. They must include a main topic, key details, comparison, and a short oral presentation. This will show me that they have understood what I've presented to them, and and it gives them a chance to kind of share their own point of view. It fits tier 1 because it involves students synthesizing multiple sources, writing independently, and presenting publicly with structured but minimal support. And then for differentiation, I could provide like different sentences. Like, for example, I could say my family celebrates blank by doing this, and then in the book, the family celebrates blank by doing this. So this is kind of like an assisted teaching and giving them, kind of hints, and then they could slowly start to do the assignment by then. For special education needs, I could allow speech to text or drawing based on narration before writing. For tier 2, the assignment would be tradition, comparison chart, and oral share. So the students would break up into small groups. They would complete a teacher-guided graphic organizer that I would provide for them and explain the whole thing to make it as simple as possible and easy for them to understand. This would compare traditions in the class with those that are described in the text. In this oral share and comparison chart, they're going to use details from families all around the world, and then 1 or 2 traditions from their family. And then they can show simple similarities or differences. Then the students will participate in a structured partner share. So I'll give them one partner, and then they can share from there. And they'll describe one tradition and why their families might share it. This kind of allows the students to understand what traditions are, and then by sharing with other people, they get to learn new ones too, which is really important. This fears tier 2 because it provides moderate support, teacher scaffolding. So I'm not completely giving them all what to do, but I'm giving them a little guided teaching, which could be help and give them a lot of confidence, and collaborative learning, allowing students to access content without requiring independent synthesis. Differentiation that I can do is a picture-based word bank. And then for special education, I could chunk tasks into steps and make it a little slower for them if they need help. And if I want to challenge, if it's too easy for them since it's tier 2 and it's the middle group, they could write 2 to 3 comparison sentences, maybe up the task a little bit. The last one, tier 3, their performance task will be tradition matching and a class quilt. So this one's a little fun. They'll students work with heavy support to complete a matching activity using picture cards of traditions from the text and simple sentence strips. So, for example, this family shares, and then you have to finish the sentence. After matching, each student creates one picture square showing a tradition from their own family or a tradition from the book. This teacher helps students orally name the tradition, who participates, why families might share. So this is kind of the lowest level, but it could be good too because they might thoroughly understand it and, learn more about traditions. All squares are assembled into a class called Traditions Quilt, and students participate in a group verbal share. So all these, each tiers give the opportunity for students to talk, kind of think, pair, and share, and group work, and then they all kind of come up with their own answers. This fits tier 3 because students will This assignment fits tier 3 because students will demonstrate understanding through pictures, matching, and short oral naming with scaffolding. For differentiation for this, I could do visuals for all the vocabulary words. For special education, I could provide a cut and paste option and accept pointing or one-word responses, kind of just anything to accommodate to the students and whatever is easiest for them. As long as they show me that they're understanding why families have traditions, that is okay with me. And the 4 T's overview. So in this lesson, the 4 T's work together to create a clear, meaningful learning experience. The text, Families All Around the World, provides shared information about how different families live and celebrate traditions. The topic and theme centers on families and traditions, guiding students to explore their essential question: why do families share traditions? The learning standards shape what students must know and do. Understanding key details from the text, which is ELA reading, describing traditions clearly, speaking and listening, and comparing family customs across cultures, social studies. Finally, the task asks students to use what they learned from the text to explain or compare traditions, showing understanding through differentiated activities such as mini books, comparison charts, or visual matching tasks. By connecting all 4 elements, the lessons provide structure, engaging opportunities for students to build knowledge and demonstrate learning. Thanks for watching.